There we go. Friday. Mm, welcome everybody. Come on in. You're the next contestant on the Guru Mama show. Come on down. Hi, Shark. It just makes me just like feel like I'm riding a camel sometimes with that song. Do 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 do. Going through the dooms of the Sahara. Yeah. So welcome everybody. Thank you for joining. Whew, another day in paradise. Well, I said, you know, as the sun's just dropping off the cliff and going into Taurus, shit gonna hit the fan. A little bit hit the fan. So yeah. This is where it's craziness is about to begin. And you thought, well, it hasn't been crazy? Well, no. Now the craziness is going to start to begin. So we have a lot of there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening in the world right now. And of course, if you haven't heard, with Israel's attack on Iran, so we have that happened, which is setting forth for a long war. A long war. This is it, right? It's not a proxy or anything. This is an actual one country attacking another country. That's it. It's not like, oh, okay, like what's going on in other in other proxy wars that are going on. And as that's going on, we have other things that are being set off, and I find it's quite kind of interesting because it gets you going all over the place, right? When you're looking at everything. The Americans in the Philippines were doing um, tactical practices, right? So we had tactical practices when it comes to that sounded off the alarms in China with the Americans in the Philippines. So we had that was going on over there. We have, I mean, it's all of these little hubs of pressure, that's really coming in. Now, let's look into this a little bit. So with this, and this is why I told people not to invest in Bitcoin. Like, well, I think I did. Anyways, with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin dropped. It's like it's going to tank. The more that the war starts going on, it's going to really tank. We have gold and silver at all times high. If you haven't invested in any silver, invest in some silver. Gold is at, if you can invest in gold, do gold, but it's at its all-time high. Oil. I mean, OPEC is the one who still controls it. And we are going to start seeing oil prices begin to soar. Now, you're not going to feel the effects of it right away, but we will be feeling it within the next month. I'm going to give it a month, where we're going to start feeling more of the prices when it comes to oil and gas. Plus, with Neptune coming near the end of Pisces, right? He's creeping up, but he's not going to leave it. He's going to retrograde back. But it's that pressure that's being put on, and Neptune does control oil and gas, controls the media. So we're going to hear a lot more hype when it comes to that. He also controls the weather. So the craziness that happened in Dubai, whether it was seeding, I don't know, I'm just not sure. Or was it HARP? Was it some kind of warfare? Could have been. I don't know. There's just something weird about that with Dubai. My Owen's girlfriend's there right now, and she said it was just really weird. It just came down, and now it's clear, like it's gone, like it's like night and day, kind of thing. So we have that's happening. We have a lot of weird things that are going on. 911s have gone out in some of the states yesterday. And so people couldn't get 911 calls. My hair is getting in my mouth. Sorry. The other craziness that's been going on is that someplace, I think it was Philadelphia, 911 will be out of service between noon and 3, or from 3 till 6 in the morning, something like that. So just leave a message. They're only having a few police on dispatch. So reign of terror there. Uh, so some cities are going down to bare minimum between certain times. That's crazy. We have our Toronto Police, Metropolitan Police telling people to leave their keys at the door so that people could just take your take your car. Here you go. Here, take your car. The guys who did the $1 billion heist with the gold are out on bail. Like, what the fuck's that? Like, really? It's like, oh, I did $1 billion heist. Yeah, I've been, let out, I think some of them didn't even get bail. So we have all these pressure, like you could go on and on with all the craziness that's happening. It is that pressure cooker of energy that's coming in. We have that the stock market, has reached higher than the last time from 1932 in the depression and with the crash. We also have with the energies and this being with the conjunction that's happening tomorrow. I mean, it's really conjunct, but the actual, like, here we go, we're snuggled up on top of each other, is tomorrow. That this is the same levels as World War II. So we're starting to see all of these little bits and pieces, and it is the energy of war. And this is where we have to going to bring Ahonia in on the spirituality of this is where the spirituality to live life. This is a big pause that we're going to be feeling within I'm going to say the matrix. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people who still take the blue pill, that don't want to take the red pill, that they don't want to step into the newness. They don't want to step into the new. They are going to hang on to that, to what was, right? And we have a craziness that's going to be, I feel like there's a lot of back and forth and just, the Trump thing, the whole thing that's going on with him. And the things that, with, was it Obama's eldest daughter dropped the last name, pictures came out with her and Hunter Biden snorting some stuff, doing the dirty deed. We have a lot of craziness that's coming out. We got a lot of craziness that's coming out about our prime minister, and nothing's being done. All of these allegations and charges and everything. I could go on. I mean, the guys down in Coutts get charged, right? They, through the trial and everything else, they basically, got, were finally, put through the court and everything else and charged. 3 of them, two I think were released and stuff. So there's just so much that's, that this is just the build. This is kind of like, I'm going to call it the prelude of everything. And more about, Biden being a puppet and the whole bit. I mean, I have my opinions on what Biden is. Don't want to say too much on a social media platform, but what's going on with that, and then who's behind the scenes and the whole bit. So this is, I feel, we're all divinely guided and divinely protected through this all, as we're going through all of the crazy glitches. And, I see glitches, so I'm going to say glitches that Lexi, with the internet and everything that are going through. There's a lot of activation now at 6:59 a.m. Taurus, the sun went into Taurus. The sun's not happy in Taurus. I mean, it came from a place of exaltation and everything else, but we just came out of crazy cardinal energy with Aries. I mean, the North Node, the sun going over the North Node, the eclipse, the solar eclipse. We have Venus conjuncting Mercury retrograde, coming up to Chiron. So it's like, all of this kind of crazy healing, transformational, energy frequencies coming through. So it's kind of like this Aries season was a little bit crazier than usual. We head into spring and we're going into spring, want to manifest, want to bring in, plant our seeds, and we're just like, snowstorm, hurricanes, tornadoes, flooding. Oh, so it is. I mean, and with the Jupiter Uranus conjunction. Last time was 1941 in this sign. Before that was when it retrograded into Pisces and back into Aries. So that was 2010, 2011. Now that was an interesting time because that was a time when there was a lot of stars. People are wanting to be known, get out there, be online. That's when you got a lot of, if you were trying to do a Facebook Live at that time, you had to have so many likes and so many this, and you had to pay to be on a Facebook Live. So you basically had to know somebody, or you had to be a star. So that was really the height of stardom, bringing in the stars. YouTubers making a lot of money, coming out, making money, being these influencers. Now I was just watching Dan from I Allegedly, and he was at a conference in Las Vegas, and it was a tech conference, and he goes, it was dead. Like he was talking to some of the guys who do it, because he does do events and stuff like that. And he was talking to the event planners, and he goes that they were down 30%. That, there's a lot of people that aren't coming to the event. They had less, which is interesting because of all the new technology that's coming out. And with even the stock of Avita, which is one of the highest stocks that are being traded right now on the stock exchange, we're with a lot of things, because people don't have the money. People don't have the money to invest. People don't have the money to do it. A lot of people are finding that because of this, from the transit from 2010 to 2011, the stars are falling. The stars are falling. People aren't paying attention. We're seeing that. We're seeing craziness, with P. Diddy. He's on the run. Now, predictions are coming out with, and you know what? I've never liked her. I never liked her husband. I've never been a fan of Miss B. I've even had arguments with my daughter about her. Like I've never, she's always rubbed me the wrong way. Same with the Swiftie people thing. Like that's another one that rubs me the wrong way. They're not on my playlist. Just if I had a playlist, but they're not on my like they just rubbed me the wrong way. There was something odd. And the day that Taylor Swift won the award, and Kanye got up and he said, no, this belongs to Beyonce, and blah, blah, blah. That kind of threw me, because I knew that I said, okay, this guy's already, understandably, that he has psychosis and other things, but he's also knows things that are on the inside. What kind of deal? Because he probably knew about the deals and the bullshit that they all do, and the things that go down in a little party. Crazy. I just thought, okay, why is she winning that? And then after that, her career soared. Why did the person who brought her out, she didn't even acknowledge his death, right? And I'm just like, oh, okay. Probably because he was maybe not a nice guy, maybe not as nice as what people say he was. So that I find very interesting. So all of this kind of stuff rumbling, coming out. And so we're seeing that. We're seeing a lot of these craziness. Now, those who are joining me tomorrow night, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about the frequencies and the energies that are coming in, and what this is the prelude to, and bringing in more of that energy of what the prelude is going to be coming in. So if you're joining me tomorrow evening, or if you're wanting to join me tomorrow evening, DM me. It is by donation. And if you send me a donation, please let me know that you sent the donation, because I don't get notified. And I like to be able to acknowledge the people that send me a donation. Okay. So just let me know when you send the donation. And if you don't know where to send it or how to send it, let me know, and I will give you the information. So we have this frequencies that are coming in. And now that we're in Taurus energy, this is about feeling things. This is mundane earth energy. It is to feel things, feel the energy, feel the mundane. All right? That's what it is. And when you are in it and you're feeling it, you're able to start to really look at what is blossoming. What are we planted? What is blossoming? What is it that we're growing? Because that's what Taurus is bringing in the blossoms, bringing in the smells, right? What can, the five senses? What can I smell? What can I feel? What can I touch? All of these senses are coming in, and that's what Taurus is, and wanting to bring in those frequencies. And this is where to look at, to make sure that we're just not discarding things because of our ego, because there's also because it's this earth, a lot of ego based shit comes in on belief systems. It has to be this way. It has to look this way. Now that we're in a system, and now we just entered into that war energy. We've been in it, but I mean, I feel like we just like bang, we're in the war energy. This is coming into the truth of your values, the truth of who you are, the truth of what it is that you stand for, what you believe in, and coming into that, to that of service and selfless service. This is, because the ego's there, but we are going beyond the ego with this energy, beyond that, and bringing forth that what is truly that of value, what is truly of value. And that is part of Taurus. Taurus wants you to know what is true. What do you truly value? What is that truth that is yours? And this is where you got to look at where those things are blooming, and find out, and to make and to work with that of what is blooming. And this is, as I say, it's the service, and it's the selfless service, and coming into that selfless service. So this is to let go of the ego of the past, and getting out of those loops, getting out of those cycles, and releasing those loops and those cycles. Because Uranus, with this Uranus conjunct, like, this is, I know many people are out there like, oh, this is the best thing that's happened. I'm just like, oh yeah, but it's unexpected. This is Uranus rules Aquarius, right? It rules Aquarius. Aquarius is about humanitarian. It's about our groups. It's about our connections. It is also the scientific brain. So it goes beyond whatever you think you think you know. It goes beyond that, and it brings that in, and you're like, holy shit, I never thought that before. I never seen that before. It's when you think something won't happen, it will. It's one of those things that'll bring it in, and in comes that energy of Jupiter, and he's just going to expand it all. So we have this expansion that's going on. And it is looking at us to test us, and to test us, to have us look at what is that truth of your beliefs, and wants you to enhance your beliefs to blossom your life, and put into what is that soil, what is that foundation you are wanting to have, and what is that, what is that saying, what are those beliefs that are coming in for you. There are beautiful things that are there. There are beautiful energies that are there, and frequencies that are coming in. It is just coming in and stepping into them. When I say there's so many different things that are happening in the world that are explosive. This is a reevaluation of your finances. This is a reevaluation of your community. This is a reevaluation of what you put as important in your life. If you're hanging on to your ego, and you think you have to have it a certain way, if you think it has to be a certain way, now we're seeing it. You're seeing it. You've seen these people who have obtained the so-called stardom, or even with influencers. There's less people out there being influencers. They can't hold it, because there is no substance into that of what they were trying to hold. There's nothing there, right? So if you're trying to hold on to something, and there's no base to it, there's nothing there to keep it up, well, it's going to fall. It's going to fall. If there's no spiritual base, and I've said this from the beginning, I've always said it, you could go back to my videos, even the ones that I pre-recorded, put it up in all my classes. You have to have a spiritual base. If you don't have a spiritual base in what the fuck you're doing, it's going to crumble. It's going to crumble in some way. And that's for all of us, because we're not all perfect. And there's going to be things there that are not, that we are just not connected, that we're missing, and this is becoming where that spirituality is going to be becoming very important. Very important. This war that we are entering, that we are in, that is going to become very explosive. We are going to see the US, we're going to see Ukraine, we're going to see China, we're going to see Iran, we're going to see the other countries come in, and we're going to see the Roman Catholic Church. They're going to be at the heart of it. They always are. Because the Catholic Church has power. It's not tumbling, it's not going anywhere. It has power. And it has more power than what people think. It has more fucking power than the Muslims, has more fucking power than the Jews. And that is something that is crazy. And a lot of people don't understand this. They don't get it because they have tapped into shit that are beyond our comprehension. Just saying. All right. And people will say, well, Mama, how do you know that? Well, I don't know how I know sometimes. I just know. Either it's from my past lives, I just know these things. And I have a comprehension of the power that is there. And that is also looking at the power that Russia has and the power that the Middle East has, because there is power there. There is a power grid that goes through there, right? And the power that the United States has. We haven't seen anything. The United States has not shown us fuck all of what they got. There are things there that, again, we don't have a comprehension of. We don't have an understanding of. And we won't until it starts to get revealed. And it's going to start getting revealed. And it's just going to start getting crazier. The thing is, the other part, and I'll get back. I know I go on to a tangent here. Where Israel bombed, they didn't bomb any of the nuke sites, which they could have. Why? Because they want this to go longer. Why? Because there's money in it. There's money in it. The bill that was just passed in the United States, and along with that, they passed the TikTok bill, which is going to be, nothing's going to happen to TikTok yet. It's just going to evolve into, I don't know, something different, I guess. But the thing is that we are going to see, they just, 60 billion to the Ukraine and another 60 billion or something to the Middle East and stuff, to Israel. So we're going to see things start to evolve from that. They're not going to let Israel go. I mean, because that was a British colony. And there's just a lot there that's riding on it. Iran is not, there's things in Iran and stuff like that, but Iran has built they've built a tower of evil as well. I mean, they're all evil in some way, but some are a little, I don't know. It's just what I'm feeling. I'm just going with it. Agree to disagree with me, and we are going to see more of a crackdown when it comes down to some of these, some of this protesting and stuff. So a lot of things have been put into play for things to happen. And again, this is where we can't let our ego start controlling, right? And this is where we have to come into, allowing ourselves to come into a energy, a frequency that is allowing of what is your soul saying. And about everything that feels weird, letting Taurus season, like it's going to feel really wonky and weird. And the analogy that I have with this frequency that comes in, it's coming back into when World War II, coming off of the Depression, where people's values were family, was the home base, was, creating a foundation. It was where, when the war broke out, where you actually took you didn't take things for granted. You didn't take your loved ones for granted. You didn't take friendship for granted. You didn't take what you have for dinner for granted. That's the frequency that's coming in. The frequency that's coming in is saying you can't take things for granted. And there's so much, in our lives that we take for granted. I take for granted that I can turn on the internet and you're there. I take for granted that I can open up my fridge and there's eggs, kind of thing. These things that we take for granted. And this is where the frequency says you can't take that for granted. If you are, and I'm going to stress this point, especially with Taurus season, do not overextend yourself financially. This is not a time to go out and get loans. This is not a time to go out and decide to um, just overextend yourself in whatever it is. This is a time of restraint. This is a time of looking at how can I reevaluate everything that I have and really allow myself to clamp down on that. That's where it's at. This is a time to put the money in the mattress. That's what it is. This is what it is. This is a time of saying, okay, yeah, I'm going to get some gold. I'm going to get some silver. I'm going to start protecting myself. Right? That's what it is. And how can I do that? And that's where these frequencies are coming in. And we do have the sun squaring off with Pluto, and Pluto wants to get to the emotional, because it rules Scorpio, right? So it wants to get into the emotional set of your values, of your connections. It wants to get, and here Taurus is like, no, well, yeah, but we need to make it a foundation. We need to look at the foundation, right? And what it's worth. And this is where a lot of, and I don't want to get into what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow night, but a lot of what is going to be transpiring is where ego no longer is, it's what it is, what it is about. It is about, again, that service and about that spirituality. This is like huge moments of our lives, of our transformation and the changes that are coming in, and creating that newness within inside ourselves on a spiritual self. And I know a lot of this is what people don't want to hear. This is not what people want to hear. And I can see it because people are coming in, they listen to what I say, and then they tootle off, right? And they tootle off because it's hard shit. It's hard shit, right? This is like looking at the basics of your ego. This is looking at, you think you know what's going on in your life right now. You think you know what's going on with your banking, your everything else. It isn't. You don't know. Uranus is going to change all that. Your money system, the only thing that is concrete is silver and gold. That's the only thing that's really concrete. And the changes that are going to be happening with that. This is where, you're thinking, holding it together. It's there's just so much dismantlement that's coming in. But I know that how much do I say? How much do I say on here? Because I know I'm going to talk a little bit about this tomorrow evening. These eclipses were a prelude to what is happening. That's what eclipses are. They are sort of the setting up for things. For example, on January 12th of 2020, it was the digital file of COVID came in, and it was the conjunction. On January 10th, there was a lunar eclipse in Cancer. Okay, I'm just going to say this. On December 2019, there was the conjunction and there was the eclipse. And that was the eclipse I said went over Wuhan. Right? And the outer planets are moving. The outer planets are moving into different signs. And this is where set up the prelude of what was going on and some of the things that I mentioned back then that was going to be happening, including World War III, including the draft system, including the system crashing, including not being able to fly, including all of these other things that I said were going to happen because of the transformation in the energies that were coming in. This is where we are, where things hit at 0 degrees Cancer. The world realizes, and things began to change. Eclipses bring in the change, and where they lie and where they are, right, is showing you what the next set of energies are going to come in. This eclipse and that have just happened are the first set. The big ones for the biggest transformation are the ones that are going to happen in the fall. So all of this is just being set up astrologically, and that's bringing in the big change. And this is where, with these changes that are going to be coming in, this is where we're coming back to what's going on now and today of setting up the spiritual self, getting yourself aligned spiritually, getting yourself aligned to have service and selfless service, not only for yourself, but those around you. This is where it's beginning. One of the reasons why I'm doing the meditation and everything tomorrow evening is because of this. Because the way I work is the guidance I get is like, you got to do this. Starting the astrology class on Monday for May. The reason I'm starting that in May, I could have started it in January, right? Because I had all the booklets, but I didn't. It said, no, start it in May. And I'm like, okay, all right, I got to wait till May. So starting that, working with the astrology in May and starting the basics of astrology, because that's bringing in, because it's after the eclipse, but also bringing in the newness and the changes that are going to be coming in to bring people into a foundation. Journey Club starting. Journey Club starting on May 2nd. Why is Journey Club starting now? Well, it's only going to be on booklet number 1. That's it, because that's what my guides are saying. People all have to start with the booklet number 1. People are too broken and scattered to have a complete Journey Club. They're too scattered. They're not connected. This is a time where if you want to go over things, fabulous. If you want to join me for that, and if you want to make payments, $75. If you want to make payments or whatever, you could do that. I'm fine with that. But it's starting at a basis to get people back to a basics, because that is the foundation that needs to be started now. Taurus is the starting of that. Taurus brings in that energy of starting. Aries is yeah, it's all over here. It's here, it's there, it's there, but here we're coming in and we're wanting to, like, boom, bring it down into the earth, bring it down to the roots and say, what are we going to start doing? That's where the frequencies are. That's why I'm doing a lot of things that I'm doing. I'm a projector, I'm a leader, I'm a teacher, and that's what I do. I'm not a manifester, generator, or anything like that. I'm a projector. So I'm here to help and lead and teach, and then you go. Some come back, some go, some come back and go, new ones come in. It is that frequency of coming and going, right? And allowing for that energy of coming and going to happen. That's the way my energy goes. Is it frustrating? Yeah, it's frustrating as fucking hell. Right? That's what it is. Lexi, I got your name down. You're down. So for Journey Club, May 2nd, it'll be every Thursday evening, and it's going to be recorded. So it's going to be every Thursday evening. And so I got you down. But that's the changes that are coming in. And I am not trying to fearmonger people. I'm not trying to get you to like scramble to me kind of thing. It's like, no, I want to warn people. I want people to come to their highest truth, to the understanding. So when you see things and you hear things that are going on, you are knowing that you are divinely guided and divinely protected. And that's very important, to know that you're divinely guided and divinely protected. When you are divinely guided and divinely protected, then you are understanding that through all of this craziness, through all of these transformations that we are going to start to go through, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Because the summer's not going to be a summer. It's not going to be the way that we think. Again, travel's not going to be the way travel has always been. Travel's going to change. And with everything coming in and with everything going to start getting heightened, you think it's over there in the Middle East? No, it's not. Because you got the South China Sea and shit that's going to rise up over there. And there's other areas that it's going to start to erupt as well. And of course, we got the civil unrest that is coming in with it all, and the changes that are coming in. It is a disruptive energy, but it's an energy that, and a frequency that we have to step in and take the red pill. I know a lot of people don't want to take it. A lot of people don't like it. It might make you sick. It might make you feel out of sorts. But what it'll do, it'll bring you into those new heights of where you need to go. So let's pull a plant. Let's pull a plant. Pineapple. I got pineapple. It's masculine. It's the sun, fire, power, luck, money, and chastity. Yeah. Well, we went from being a little bit lusty. Now we have to be chastised. But magical uses. Dried pineapple is placed in bags and added to baths to draw good luck to the bather. The juice is added as well. Pineapple juice is drunk to hinder lust. Ooh. And dried peel or flesh is added to money mixtures. Is there any chance we could do Journey Club on Wednesday nights? I'm working Wednesdays and Fridays evenings. So I probably could. I could probably just I would have to start it on May 1st. If I do it Wednesday evening, I'd be doing it from work. I could do that if you don't mind the disruptions that happen during work, because my work is basically, I'm there from 7 to 9, so it's dead. And the classes will be, the classes could be Cynthia. Cynthia's a negotiator, so she's trying to negotiate the times here. Let me pull up a calendar. 1 second, Cynthia, darling. Oh, there we go. What? Crazy. Olivia leaves next on the 30th. We could start it on April 30th instead of May 2nd, which is fine. And have it on April 30th, May 7th, May 14th, and May 21st. We could go to May 28th if we need to. So those 4 consecutive days, I'll just change the dates on my stuff. If you are committed to the Tuesdays. So if you're committed to the Tuesday, and Lexi, if Lexi's committed to Tuesday as well, I could do it on the Tuesday. So that's fine. And then I'll just change I could just change the date on my thing. That's fine. So yeah, and it's $75, for the 4 nights. Maybe 5. I might take it to the end of May. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But it's bringing in that basis. We're not doing the whole booklet. We're only doing we're taking week 1 and we're splitting it all up, because that's it's, I guess, yeah, I'm also scared. The reason I'm taking just the first booklet and breaking it up is because there's so much in there for people. And there was so much and I find that a lot of people didn't get through just the first booklet, right? To do the first booklet. So coming in and doing the first booklet is, and we might go into the second one as well, but just stepping into that energy of gratitudes and I ams and stepping into, stepping into that to bring in the changes. We'll see how it goes, if and how big the class is as well. So, and we'll go from there. And I love teach. I haven't taught Journey Club in a long time. I haven't taught it in about 3-4 years, 3 years probably. I did put it up I did put it up on a Christmas sale, and then just shit, my Facebook died. My Facebook was taken away. Shit happened, whatever. And I just, went into turned into a tumbleweed, like a different person now. Yeah, exactly. You know, um, there has been so much change, ever since that time. Now that I'm going to say that was probably could have been a couple years ago. Um, when I lost, I know we're in 2024. I'm thinking 21 or something, because it's like we go by. I was thinking this the other day. We go by we go by, how did I put it, before the plan pandemic to after. So it's like BP and AP after pandemic, before pandemic. That's how we are judging our time, because there's such a switch within the vibrations and everything that has happened since then, and within the timelines that have changed, right? So much has happened in that time. So it's like, okay, what was going on, pre the prelude to that. To me, I go up to 2017, because 2017 is when I was like, okay, things are going to change, things are happening. I knew markets and everything were going to change. 2019, I was doing my things. I was talking about people in September, October, and November of 2019, and the shit that was going to happen in 2020, to the lockdown in March. And a lot of people were still on that line where, it's only going to be 2 weeks, where I was like, nah, they're doing some shit. It's going to be longer than that, to going through the whole thing with 2020, 2021. And then 2022 and the whole bit. We moved into this place in July 1st, 2023. No, July 1st, 2022. July 1st, 2022, we moved into this place. And Steve had, because Steve had his stroke in February of 2022. His pacemaker put in May of 2022. We moved, because I had to move everything basically on my own. And we were in here July 1st, 2022. And then I was let go from my job just before the summer solstice of June of 2023. And that sent me into another change. And then turning 60 and everything of last year really set me into another thing. But it's coming now, where I feel everything that has happened is now, for me, come sort of together. And everything that's coming together now is like, okay, I really got foresight here, people. And it's time to get on the learning, and it's time to get into the grounding in the spiritual self. That's going to be so important. So important. It's that energy. It's the energy of World War II with a spin on it, a spin on it, and I feel like whatever was trying to happen, in some incidents, I feel like they're trying to throw us into a different timeline, where we would wake up and we wouldn't be heading for World War III. I think that what they're trying to do with CERN, and yes, there's, the particles and everything, and trying to figure out the future and what's going to happen when they hit certain timelines and stuff. I feel like, even with the everything, that I feel like there were some that were trying to get us to move to something different and into a different frequency, that we didn't have to go through a lot of what we have to go through to get to that frequency, though. In order to get to that new frequency, we have to go through and battle all of this. But it's a spiritual battle that we are heading into, a big one. And the spiritual battle has to do with money, has to do with our egos. A spiritual battle has to do with our attachments to our stuff. That's part of the spiritual battle, right? So you got to look at that spiritual battle that we're going through. We're going through one that says, okay, what is important to you and what isn't important to you. It's like, when they come in and say, when you have the guru come in or the prophet come in and saying, all right, where's your go-to bag? Let's go. We're leaving now. No time to think about it. No time to grab what you feel is the most important thing. Time to grab whatever it is that you need to grab, whatever it is that's important, that you need, that is not ego-based. That's what we go with. And that's where we're at. And that's where a lot of people are going to have a hell of a time, because they're going to hang on to their shit. That's why we're seeing the stars fall. Because they're hanging on to shit that no longer is worthy. That's why you see the ones that are trying to do the good are not hanging out with the bad. They're moving away from it. So we had the pineapple. Bringing in the fairies. Got the fairies going on. Do some research. So all of you, do some research. You need more information about a situation? Look into it, question whatever it is, right? And that way it's going to give you a better footing. You want more information about whatever within spirituality, what type of spirituality, what kind of foundation, what do you want to start looking into? And with that, it's going to let you know that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. It's going to work out beautifully. It's just not going to work out the way that you think it's going to work out. It's like that. It's like you're going out there and you're wanting to prune everything back, and you're like, I don't like this, and you're going to cut it all back, but you don't realize that it's just starting to bud. It's just starting, and it's like that ugly duckling stage before it turns beautiful, right? And then from there, affirmations. Lift your heart and energy with affirmations. Allow for the affirmations. Yeah, my little fairy cards. I don't know if you can get these anymore. The real ones. You might be able to find knockoff Chinese ones, but these are the real ones. So there you guys go. I want you all to have a fabulous day. May the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all you say and all you be and all you do. Lexi and little walk with Binder, Cynthia, I have you down for Journey Club. I know Lexi's in the meditation tomorrow night. Charlene's in the meditation tomorrow night. And anybody else who wants to join me in the meditation tomorrow night, just please let me know. The letter has gone out about information. Make sure you got it, because the link is in there. If you didn't get it, let me know. So much. So much. All right. Talk to you guys all soon. Okay. All right. Sounds good, Cynthia. I love you all. Bye-bye.